Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Never Mind the Buy Box. My name is Natalie Cromie, and I am the content director here at the Secret Wealth Project. And this evening, I am joined by the lovely Anna Logan Riversby. I got it right. Did I get it right?
Yes, you got right.
I have to say double-barreled names really slowly, otherwise I just merged them into one a little bit. So welcome, Anna. Thank you so much for joining us. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here because I know this is your first time on Never Mind the Buy Box. So guys, if you can give us a hello, a like, a love. Can you give me some likes and loves so we can send out the notification to as many people as possible, because I really do think this evening this is going to offer a massive level of value to anyone that's watching live, and anyone that's going to be certainly watching the replay. The software's been a bit glitchy lately, so please do let us know that you are here and that you are watching. We have hello. You can also watch via YouTube if you want to. Paul says hi. Tenor says hi. Mark and Sean have joined us as well. So welcome, everyone. It's great to be here. Cindy's joined us as well. Hiya, Cindy. Please do say hello in the comments. Well, one of the first things tonight we're going to be talking about virtual assistants. We're going to be covering as much as we possibly can about, in particular, Amazon virtual assistants. So please, Simon says, good evening, ladies. Steve says, 20-minute reminder worked a treat. Do you know what? I think I'm going to do that in future. It's something that, I've just thought of and just saw recently, and I thought, okay, that's quite a good idea to remind people and let people know we go live. But sometimes the notifications don't come up. But I'm not even going to pretend to know. Like, some people are saying, oh, you need to do this to get a notification. You need to do this. I'm not even going to pretend to know how to direct people to do that, definitely. But certainly tonight we're going to be talking all things virtual assistants. I'm going to introduce you properly in a moment to Anna. Who has got a great story in terms of becoming an Amazon seller, and just introducing more about her, how she started to add virtual assistants to her business, and how that can potentially help you guys. Now, as part of the run up to Q4, and when we're in Q4, I said I wanted to introduce as many different, sort of services, as many different, techniques and everything you guys need to be able to do to have the best Q4 ever. And definitely virtual assistants was going to be one of them, because they are a little bit of a minefield, aren't they, Anna? I think people can sometimes, there are some people out there that can just literally look at, say to themselves, right, I'm going to hire a VA and I'm going to do it tomorrow, get them hired and it's done, and that's it. But some people, it's quite an intimidating process. Would you say that that's fair?
Yes, it is. You're completely right. That's exactly what I thought when I first thought of delegating some of my less loved tasks, to put it that way, to someone. Yes, I'll do it tomorrow. They're going to be on a team within 5 minutes and take all of these things away from me, and it's going to be so easy. Yeah. That was
absolutely. So like I said, you've been there, you've done that, you've got the t-shirt. But before we dive deep into, Anna's background, how she became involved on Amazon, let me know in the comments, do you have VAs at the moment? Is it something that you are thinking about doing? If you're not using a VA, are you using a deal service like online arbitrage deals.com? What is it that you are using to source at the moment, and what's your kind of plan for sourcing for Q4? Really, that's what tonight was about, is trying to put in a plan for people, because I said it in my post yesterday. I think it was yesterday. The days are merging into one another at the moment, and while it's still some holidays and the kids are off. When it comes to Q4, I've always known for being a manual sourcer. And, when I did traditional arbitrage, and the thing about Q4 is because there are so many deals, there's so much opportunity that is available, for people to take advantage of. Even the absolute best sources in the world, the best manual sources that spot opportunity everywhere, that have had their eyes opened up to sourcing, then even then, those guys can't possibly get around all of the deals. It's impossible. Now, first and foremost, I always say to people, if you're learning online arbitrage, if you're early in your business, there's no right or wrong way, obviously. But if you are an early point in your business, I always encourage manual sourcing. I think it's good to get to know how it's done, what to spot, what to not spot, because if you are using a service, if you have got a VA, how can you train them properly when you don't know what to spot yourself? So for me, it's, learn it yourself and then outsource it. That's what I see. But I know that there are people that don't want to do that. They just want to outsource it all from the start, and that's absolutely fine. But if there is a time to try it, it's during Q4, I think, because there's so much opportunity. There's so many deals, so much opportunity to make money, to cover the cost of having a VA or outsourcing your sourcing or other tasks. I know Cindy said there I could really do with an admin VA, but I do feel it's quite intimidating getting one. Ted says evening, and Amanda says hiya, by the way. So I think, this is why I definitely wanted to shine a spotlight on VAs in particular over this Q4, because if you guys are going to try it, I think now is the time because again, unless you're that type of person, you want to get your ducks ready, ducks in a row before Q4 hits. And again, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but personally, if it was me, I was thinking about hiring a VA. I would do it in August, September, possibly October. I wouldn't be doing it in November and December when you need so much focus on your business at that time. So, if anyone wondering why we're here tonight and, talking about virtual assistants, they are an integral part of many, many people's Amazon businesses. And that's why we want to shine a little spotlight on them tonight, have a chat about it, answer any questions you guys have as well. So if you're thinking about going through the process of hiring a virtual assistant, then please do drop us a question in the comments, and we will do our best to answer those for you. So, introduction over from me. Thank you, Anna. Now, I've known Anna for some time in the world of online arbitrage. We've met in person, I was, when I knew that Anna was going to be coming on Never Mind the Buy Box tonight, I was so chuffed because Anna is one of life's positive people. You are somebody that you just look on the positive side of things, don't you? You tend to have that mindset of anything's possible, anything can be achieved. And even when your chips are down a little bit, you always seem, like you're someone that just takes it, processes it, and kind of moves on. So I'm really glad to introduce Anna to the community tonight, and hopefully have someone that you guys can call upon if you need, to talk about VAs and everything in the future. But I really have done enough talking, like 10 minutes solid already. So Anna, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into Amazon, and just really how you got started in Amazon, because it's been pretty experienced, very experienced seller now, been doing it for a few years. So let us know how you got started.
So hello again, Natalie. Thank you so much. Beautiful introduction to big question of VAs and how to tackle that, minefield. And hello to everybody else who's on Secret Vault Project. It's an honor to be here. So I got introduced to this amazing Amazon community when I first started finding what kind of business can really help me make an income. And I had businesses before, so I have lots of experience with businesses, but I was looking for something that people really need, the product. You get the product that people need and they will go and buy it. So I was looking for that, and on my flight to, I think, the States, I was going through something prior to, taking off, and I sort of fell into the Amazon sailors stories, and I thought, my goodness, this sounds amazing. And then I thought, okay, these are the USA sort of stories. Let me find our local UK guru, if you'd like. Lo and behold, whose face pops in? Matt Webley pops
The
in.
infamous Matt Webley, absolutely. He's responsible for so much.
So much that's been happening, and he's definitely somebody who knows how to entice you with a story about Amazon, how to do this, how easy and simple the concept really is. And I thought, wow, this sounds really interesting. As soon as I land, I'm going to get into it. So I made a note, and I did. And as soon as I got home, I got into the Amazon space, found Secret Wealth Project. I consumed the free maths course, and then bought the normal course, where everything was explained in detail. I was so grateful for that. And then started, and I was really surprised to see results straight away. There was sales rolling in, and I thought, wow, somebody like me who has zero retail experience, really, like real retail. I did buy and sell stuff before, yes, but retail online, that's a completely different ballgame. And I thought, wow, I'm going to stick with this. And that's how it all started. First part-time, and then after about, I think, a year of being a part-time, I decided to go full on and go for the OA concept and model. And that's where the story of VAs came in as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So you started out similar story to thousands of other people that have found Amazon through the Secret Wealth Project, through Matt's original free course, which, believe it or not, I think is something like over 4 years old now. People still watch it now.
Yeah,
I think, people still watch it now. It is massively outdated if anyone is watching this. But you know what? It gives you the concept. And I think that's the most important part. But any regular viewers of Nevermind the Buy Box know that I am actually going to be updating that course. It's going to go for free on YouTube in the next few weeks. And I feel like I've been saying the next few weeks for a really long time. But when I committed to the few weeks, I didn't realize it was obviously going to be summer holidays at that time. But most definitely it will be, once the kids go back to school. But it is amazing how many entrepreneurs have been created from this free course that Matt put on YouTube. I don't think he was even expecting anything to, come from it at all, in a sense that, but he's responsible for literally hundreds and thousands of people that are doing, 6-7 figures and selling online, which is, really great to hear. That's why I love having sort of seller interviews a little bit, because it just reminds of everything that's going on. But something that's still obviously very, very relevant today. So you got into it, you've been doing it for a year, you went from part-time to full-time, and then there was a point in your business, presumably up until maybe that point you were doing things yourself. You felt, okay, this is too much. Talk us through your mindset at that time, because I think a lot of people do go through that kind of mindset where they feel, possibly without putting words into your mouth, a bit overwhelmed, struggling to scale, all of those different elements that are relating to knowing something works, but having a level of frustration that you can't get to the next level.
Yes, my goodness, I felt that in my soul, if I can say that. So after I reached a certain level, and I was, I don't know if I was turning over about 50K, I thought, my goodness, I know that some people are doing it all themselves. They're like one woman, one man band. They're sourcing, they're prepping, they're, creating the sort of, strategy in their business. And I thought, wow, that's not me. I can't do this. I can do it up to a point, but I cannot do it after a certain point. And I think every person needs to know and needs to feel when that sort of breaking point, happens. And I felt very clearly that I was tired, I was frustrated, I started making mistakes. And I did not see my business clearly. I did not have time to go onto my, accounting books to see, what's going on with with my business in real life. Really, I didn't have time to talk to my accountant either. So I had barely time to have a cup of tea. So I thought, okay, this is not gonna work. This kind of spaghetti in the wall strategy. Every business needs a good strategy. So I was testing it for like a year, doing it just to see how it goes, to understand the Amazon platform, which is a big platform to learn. I think it's quite a steep curve, in the beginning, it can be overwhelming. And I suddenly understood that, and I thought, you know what, if I really want to take this further and take this seriously, I need to delegate. I need to understand how to be the owner of the business, not to work too much in the business. But now that I know how everything works, I'm ready to delegate things that I'm not that great in, or that really stress me out, or I'm making too many mistakes in.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it was important that I understand the core of the business, and I'm doing it for at least 6 months, myself personally, for me. So I understand how to delegate, what's important, what isn't important, for my style of business. And I thought, okay, you know what? I think I need to delegate now. And I reached that breaking point when I was too tired to even understand what's happening in the business. And I thought, this is it. We are outsourcing. And my first idea was, VA, I heard about VAs. I don't know much about Amazon VAs because I haven't looked into that at that point. And I thought, you know what, I trained my own VAs in my previous businesses. So, you know what, I'm going to just find somebody. I'm sure there are plenty of Amazon VAs out there who know what they're doing. And what is it that I really want to outsource? So I sat down and I made a list of all the tasks that I'm doing regularly on Amazon. And I said, okay, I really like this one. I really like that one. That one I like, but it's taking so much time. I'll keep it. That one, I hate it. And one of the tasks that I hated, that I was not that great in, guess what, was sourcing.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I did my sourcing, I didn't know how to do my sourcing. I was doing the sort of software, this and that, but manual sourcing, I attempted to do manual sourcing. And there was 2 days of me going to Ocado to look for products, bundles, right? Mm-hmm. And I thought, bundles, that's going to be great. And I saw these bundles everywhere. Okay, let's go to Ocado. I like Ocado. I purchased things from Ocado before. And I landed in a crisps section.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. I didn't know that many crisps exist in the world. And I did 10 hours first day, found nothing. 10 hours the second day, found nothing. And I thought, okay, crisps are not the way to go. And somebody wise to sourcing said, you know what, you made 2 rookie mistakes when sourcing. Number one, you chose a really big platform.
Yeah.
Second, you kept, sourcing this one product. I understand you need to gain experience, but after 1 hour, if you don't find something, move on to the next product. I move on. I'm like, thank you, you just saved my life. I went gray overnight. So.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I think, for any budding RAs out there, for anybody that wants to go in for inspiration only, because it can get very depressing very quickly if you do what I call kamikaze RA, which is literally when you go in without a plan and you just are scanning things. And especially if you're new to selling on Amazon as well, because there are going to be a lot of hurdles to start with. There are going to be barriers. You're going to come up against gay things. You're going to, possibly hazmat products. You won't be part of the dangerous goods products, brand gatings, knowing what sells and what doesn't sell. So yeah, have a plan, guys, before you go in. And by the way, we will have a separate session on RA and how to best take advantage of that during Q4. That's going to be coming up sometime in the future on Never Mind the Buy Box. But so you had this, again, you're back in this feeling of kind of overwhelm. So you're a bit like, okay, what do I do next?
So interestingly, before I landed into hiring a first VA, I got much better at sourcing. And that is, I have to say, I contributing that to you. So when we met in Matt's live event in Lincoln, you gave this amazing presentation about sourcing, how to do sourcing with Keepa.
Yes.
And I literally fell off my chair. I thought, oh my God, this is just an amazing strategy to use to find products. And soon as I went home, I tested it and I tried it, and it worked like a miracle. I thought, my goodness, that woman knows her thing. I mean, that really contributed to me understanding how to source. So thank you so much for that. I think that was a game changer for me.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I didn't know you were going to say that at all.
Yeah. I'm still amazed at that technique. So, that's a jewel. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Karen says, well, I hate reading out things like this. I'll just say that Karen was there and she's still using it. So thank you for that. I mean, that was like 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
Because of the pandemic and everything like that. So, I can't wait till we're in a position that we can go out and do something like that again.
Hallelujah.
It was just the most amazing event. It really, really was. I promise you guys, we will be doing something like that next year. Once everything's settled down, Matt and I discussed it, and, with the rest of everyone in Secret Wealth Projects and everything. And we just, I know people are still kind of edgy about what's going on with big meetups. I know the world is opening back up again, but we think, well, yeah, let's, we'll wait until next year. Bob, I promise you, we will do another one, and we will do it 100%. We love personal meetups here at Secret Wealth Project. Just before we move on, I'm just going to have a quick look at the comments. So many poor people have joined us. Welcome, Teo's joined us. Sam, Tez, Nadia says, I like Ocado, but they don't post to Scotland, unfortunately. Sam's talking about what course we were talking about. Well, it was actually the Secret Wealth Project YouTube channel, Matt Webley's original online arbitrage starter course, a beginner's course. It's like 4 years old. It's massively out of date in terms of looking at Seller Central, but the concept is still the same. But just to let everyone know, there is going to be an updated version of that coming very, very soon to the YouTube channel. So by all means, be an original gangster and watch Matt's original course. I feel like you're getting part of it for sure, but there is going to be an updated version. But if you want to jump into your learning straight away, and you've not even scratched the surface, or you haven't even maybe opened your account yet, anything like that, then please, feel free to watch Matt's course. So Sean says COVID-22. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, we're not going to get into we're not going to fall down the pandemic rabbit hole tonight. Definitely not, for sure. So then Doug's joined us as well. Evening, Doug. So you improved your manual sourcing, everything that we spoke about at the start. You became a manual sourcing demon, and then that's when you decided to. That's the next step you wanted to take in hiring a VA.
That's it. So I decided to then hire a VA. Originally, I thought, you know what, I'm going to find one and train them. I am, I know how to do this. I was trained professionally how to create content, how to educate people, how to evaluate them. And I thought I'll do it myself. And quickly, and I think on the day one, I realized that I simply don't have time. I don't have time to post, look through all the CVs that have been sent to me. I do not have time then to train these people. I can't just tell them, oh, look to this, free course, because it's different to training somebody to be Amazon seller and then, training them to be a manual sourcing VA. So I thought I need a highly, sort of focused material to be able to, have somebody who is fully trained to my own specifications. And I thought, this is going to take a while. I don't have time for that. And I thought, okay, I think the best second option actually for me is to just hire a fully trained VA. So I looked around and I found a couple of services, and I went for one service. It looked really good, and got a first VA. She started delivering deals, obviously, and I was reasonably happy with them. I think it was like 50% of my acceptance from all of the deals that she was supplying regularly to me. And then what I realized was that it's freed up huge amount of time for me. I felt less tired, less overwhelmed. I finally had time to have a cup of tea, and I said, okay, where is my business going? How do I want to scale this? And the happy circumstance of that, I got exactly what I wanted. It is daily, I was getting these deals, dropping onto my deal sheet. And I thought, wow, this is like little jewels, dripping in. I just needed to go there, double check them and buy them. And then this is exactly what I did. I started buying more deals, more products started rolling in. And because I decided to do my own prepping, I started getting busier and busier and busier with prepping. Mm-hmm. And I thought, okay, this is scaling quite rapidly, actually. After maybe 2-3 months, my business just started exploding. And I was shipping, sending, selling, and I thought, wow, let's get another VA. I can do all of this, so that's all, I understand how to prep fast now. I know how the system works. Let's do it. So I got a second VA. And everything was going swimmingly until I then realized I need somebody to actually review the deals and maybe purchase them because I was so busy. Mm-hmm. And so I got a reviewing VA as well. And that VA was amazing. She reviewed all the deals. She gave comments to me and to them. So she was training them. Loved her work. And I thought, this is going so well. I was bonding so well with my VA team. I was telling them, the first VA I got promoted after 3 months. I said to her, you're doing really well. I think I see great future for you. And she said, yes, thank you, ma'am. That's great, ma'am. I'm so happy, ma'am. I didn't expect that, ma'am. Brilliant. And then somebody contacts me. I thought everything was going swimmingly well. And I was so happy. And then somebody contacts me saying, I've got something for you. Do you mind having a look? Does these names look familiar to you? And I'm like, oh, I don't think so. So I was so sort of busy doing something. Oh, I don't think so. It doesn't look familiar, And then they're like, are you sure? I'm like, okay. So I had a look again, and then I see this really specific name that's very rare. And then I see another name that I know on this deal sheet, and I said, yeah, these are my VAs. How did you get this? And this person says, well, this is the deal sheet that, I discovered my VAs using, and they are basically sharing and selling deals among themselves to other Amazon sellers. I frankly didn't know what to say in the beginning. It took me a while to process, and I felt really, really bad, very betrayed, and I can tell you my heart was broken. It was really painful experience for me, actually, too.
Yeah, and I don't want to jump in here because I know even still talking about it now.
I know.
Like I said, I've spoken to Anna about this, previously. So I was kind of cringing when I knew it was coming because I know how deeply betrayed you were by this, and it might invite people think, well, but the thing is, when you're good with VAs, when you are somebody who communicates well with them, which is something that is massively needed to bring somebody onto your team and to trust them and on all these different levels and of trust that you put in someone. And again, when you are a person like Anna, who I said, you always look at the positive, you always look at, you did take it very personally in that respect. And even without defending the VAs, I don't think they knew kind of any different. I think, some people out there know that VAs do share other deals, because it's, they work for different people. It's all these different types of things. But I think because you felt you had, this type of relationship, you were. And I love the fact that you do speak very openly about it, because some people are, oh, yeah, whatever, kind of thing. But you, like I said, I spoke to you about it not so long afterwards, and I could just tell how upset you were over it and how this was a real kind of turning point within your business. And this is a time when you thought, right, okay, other people might be able to accept this, but I don't want to. I pour so much time, so much attention into my VAs. I need people who I'm going to trust, essentially. And that's when you sort of decided, I'm going to do things a little bit differently now.
I did.
Go through that.
That was definitely the breaking point for me. And that's when I spoke to other people who had similar experiences, and some people who've been in the game for a very long time. And they have said, yes, things have changed a little bit with VAs over the past 10 years. It was all really, great. People were working in the beginning. They were trustworthy, straightforward. However, as the time has sort of moved on, they have sort of organized themselves into, like my VAs did, into like groups and cliques, and they were sharing the deals. And so I didn't know all of that. If I knew all of that, maybe I would say, okay, maybe that's the risk I want to accept for every deal with, I don't know, 5 sellers on. Maybe I should expect 25 sellers to appear. So I should take this into account. So I will know what to expect. I like to know what's happening. And I didn't. So I said, you know what? I want to find people that I can trust, who have a good work ethic. They're coming from, I don't know, maybe different culture that I understand. From the maybe universe that, of the people who really want to make a difference and be part of the team. With my VAs, I never really felt that they felt like they're part of the team somehow. Although I was always saying, you are growing as I'm growing. You're part of the team. You just got promoted. You're part of they were in my heart. So my business is deeply personal to me. This is, as Erin Brockovich has summarized it really nicely, that business is personal by saying, like, how is this not personal? This is my blood and sweat and tears and time away from my kids. If this is not personal, I don't know what is personal.
I love that. First movie quote ever, or never mind the buy box, I think.
Yeah,
summarizes it perfectly.
Love that one. So yeah, it is personal. I want the business to be, something that I can go back to with a smile, with people, to work with people I trust, and deliver the best service. If I'm delivering the best service, best product. So I said, you know what? I know how to find good people. I know where to find them, and I'm going to do this myself. And I'm going to train my own VAs now. I'm going to give it time and train my own VAs. This is, something that I started initially. I knew where to go, and I found a few VAs. And then I thought, you know what? I can develop this further. Mm-hmm. I think Amazon Space needs this, and people who care about things that I care about trustworthy teams. Teams that want to be part of the business. They have this mentality of, yeah, I'm so proud. I want to talk to my parents about it. I want to talk to my friends about what I did during the day and my business. That's what I wanted. And I knew where to find them. And I went and I found them. And that's where everything sort of started.
Ah, yeah, brilliant. And, just to sort of go back, so you're at that point in your business and where do I go? Where do I do this? So I think this will be a good time, to mention that actually Anna did something a bit differently. So before we kind of move on to the next part that we're going to talk about where Anna found her VA, what I don't want anyone to think off the back of this is that there is anything wrong with, the current VA system out there. We're not trying to, bash it. We're not trying to say it's wrong. I know people are watching this, people are watching the replay. It has worked phenomenally, for a lot of people. And the reason, partly why I wanted Anna to come on here tonight is because I know that you've done things a little bit differently, and just to show people that just because one thing has been done one way forever doesn't mean that there isn't another way. And, that's what I wanted to kind of highlight and show and introduce Anna, everyone, for tonight, is that you had a challenging experience, and going back to being the type of personality that you have, having the mindset that you have, you thought, no, I'm not going to lay down and take this. I'm going to find a different way that works for me. So you're going to find hire to work this way. So it will be a good point to mention now, I think, that where you decided to hire from your new VAs were not traditionally where most people go, is the Philippines. Mm-hmm. You decided that you wanted to move away from that geographical area and try and focus on getting someone a little bit closer to home.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
Yes, definitely. I decided to go in that direction.
Yeah. So Yeah, and so tell us a little bit more about that then, Anna. So obviously you decided to go. Can you say where you recruit the VAs from now? Are you happy to
Yeah.
share that?
Yes, I'm happy to share. So I thought, first of all, the mentality of people, the location of people, and whether or not they're able to have Amazon businesses themselves was important. And I did not know Filipino mentality. They're lovely people, and they can work really well, as you say. But when I was thinking about getting my own VAs, I thought, I am originally from Croatia. They're lovely people, dedicated, highly educated, brilliant, but they can sell on Amazon themselves. And then Serbia, I lived in Serbia during my studies for 4 years. And then I think I lived there for 1 year while taking care of my mom about 2.5 years ago, year before COVID hit. I was with her for 1 year, took care of her, and remembered how everything is still functioning there. Not much has changed in regards to employment, education, people's mentalities. So I thought, you know what, that would be ideal. People over there really need jobs. They are highly educated. They're really proud to be highly educated. It's sort of a long tradition of going to university automatically after, colleges and GCSEs, A levels, and everything else. They love to have their, diplomas and masters and everything else. My own VA, who's probably here, as a master, so, and she's brilliant. And they're also 1 hour away. And I thought, this is actually brilliant. If I just needed to contact somebody, quickly relay a message, there is the 1 hour difference. They have excellent broadband, connection. I know that. I was there for a year. And they're really, there's not that many workplaces for people when they graduate. They're desperate to start working. So there's so many unemployed people, and they're still twiddling their thumbs, saying, "What can I do? How can I do this? And where can I find a job to sort of show off my knowledge and my critical skill set and loyalty and wanting to be in the team?" So I thought, okay, let's do that.
And I think you picked up on a couple of really key points there. And again, we're not blaming, obviously, the people of the Philippines or anything like this. It's something that they cannot help. But for me, that level of not being able to directly communicate with someone because it's a completely different part of the day, I'd imagine would be incredibly frustrating. Again, I know some of you don't have any issue with it as well. But one thing, again, which does kind of blight the people of the Philippines and especially the VA community is erratic kind of internet, horrible weather changes, all of these different types of things. And as you were going through this process, you're thinking, okay, well, this is a tick box. I don't need to worry about that. I don't need to worry about that. I don't need to. And it's kind of, you've identified an area where you feel that there's a great skill set waiting and people that are willing in order to, be trained and to work with Amazon sellers who cannot sell directly on Amazon themselves. Is that correct?
No, not at all. They're not allowed to, unfortunately. But that was a check mark for me.
Yeah, absolutely. So far, it's ticking kind of all the boxes. So, for anyone that's out there, so presumably, did you go on? Because again, traditionally, most people will be known, to look on sort of like online jobs PH for people to go and look traditionally for VAs in the Filipino market. But did you use, presumably you didn't use that one, you used something like Upwork, people per hour or something?
Yes, I did. So I think the best platform to find these kinds of VAs from these regions is definitely Upwork. I think I tried also Freelancer, and I think Upwork was the main one. I cannot remember any others that I used. They're the best for these people, yes.
And again, free as well.
Yeah, which is the best version, while the other one wasn't.
Yeah, free to advertise. So just to clarify, Sam, it was Croatia, wasn't it?
It's actually Serbia. So
Sorry.
Croatia is able to set up the account and have the account there.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
Serbia is not allowed to sell as an Amazon. You cannot be an Amazon seller if you are located in Serbia.
Okay. We won't go into the reasons as to why that's the case, obviously, here tonight. You know, Google it yourself, guys, if you want to, obviously. So you've discovered this, you've placed your adverts online. I think now will be a really good time to sort of like talk about some of your guys' feelings about, okay, well, you know, what's the process? How do I place these adverts online? What are the sort of things that I need to put into an advert if I want to attract a good quality candidate? If I want to go through, you know, how many candidates do I pick? I'm going to fire loads of questions at you now, Anna. Anna, how many candidates do I pick? How much do I pay them? You know, all the type of questions that everyone, you know, will be talking about or thinking about at this stage in their business. So what was that for you like at that point when you were placing the adverts?
So what was I thinking? I think it would be helpful for anybody who wants to do the same thing. I was thinking about, okay, what kind of job is actually manual sourcing? It is mostly research, right? It's online research. It involves retail, e-commerce. So all of these skills are needed. So when I was placing an advert, I did not say, I'm looking for, sourcing Amazon. I did not mention Amazon. I did not want to mention Amazon. I wanted somebody brand new who does not know the Amazon.
Wow, that's really smart. Yeah.
So I did say I need somebody who is skillful, enjoys online research, knows e-commerce, but no experience is necessary really, because I decided to create my own course. And I thought, okay, I'm going to create my own course. I know how to do this to really high levels, with really high standards, and I'm just going to go through this training with them myself. So I just posted this advert stating these couple of points, and also because I wanted them to be from Serbia, I said Serbian language is necessary.
Yeah.
And I was posting these questions: do you speak Serbian? Are you fluent in English? Obviously, most people who are on Upwork are fluent in English, you know, so, you know, but still, why not put a few important questions there? And then after I got few responses, I said, can you please send me a CV? I wanted to see their CV, their work experience, their education. I wanted to see if they fit my understanding of how, you know, I want my VA to be. I wanted to see that they had at least some work experience, so they know, you know, how to treat their employer, how to show up regularly. You know, there's some skills that, you know, somebody needs and they develop through working themselves. But also I did train a couple of people who had just finished studies. They did not have any work experience. They were very keen and very enthusiastic, and I just loved that. And I thought, okay, let's do this, see how it goes. You know, you never know. So yes, and then after I read their CV, I liked their CV. I said, okay, let's set up the Skype interview or Skype meeting. So we had that, in which I said to them, can you please tell me more about you? Where do you live? Who do you live with? I wanted to know if they're fitting in the typical, you know, mold of the classical Serbian family. And if they did, I would say, okay, this fits the profiling that I'm after. And I said, what are you looking for? How much time do you have on your hands for this kind of thing? Are you interested to go through training and then, you know, work for me, or to work for, you know, another employer? And if all of these things were okay with them, I would say, what is expected wage? What are the expectations of delivery of the deals? What the job is about? And I said to them, you cannot expect much until you're trained, really, then you will understand what job is about, really.
Yeah.
So are you ready to invest, you know, a couple of weeks in this training? So if they ticked all of that, if they were interested, and about 98% people were interested. And I said, okay, let's go for it. Okay, and then the next meeting, I would introduce them to the whole course. We would go through everything, and then I would just let them go through it in their own time for about a couple of days. And then the training would start, and they would start sourcing, and
Yeah.
I was really happy with how well they did, actually, all of them.
Yeah. And did you, going back to the interview stage, because again, I think that is one of the areas where people feel most intimidating about hiring their own VA. And, you know, if you're not an experienced interviewer or someone that I know you have a lot of, you know, previous experience in that area. I used to work in recruitment. It was my last real job before that. So I don't have any issue interviewing people, but I know it's something that people can feel a little bit intimidated by. But there are a few things in terms of this type of interview that you guys should look out for if you want to do it yourself. Things like, and they're little silly things that you think, oh, okay, well, do you know what? No, I'll let it slide. They're absolutely fine. You know, it's not really an issue. But believe me, if you are getting red flags in the interview to start with, then you need to run, because there are 10 other people queuing up that are prepared to do that. And that's little things like punctuality, you know, being on time, somebody who is keen to learn, somebody who, as Anna said, you talk about that learning experience with, someone who's keen to, people always say, oh, you know, you shouldn't really hire people that have got great expectations. And yeah, if you're hiring someone who's a VA and you're asking them about commitment and things like that, and they say to you, well, actually, I'm just doing this and because I'm waiting to be a doctor or something like that, then you know they might be an excellent candidate, but they're not going to be around forever, obviously. But never, I personally think, be scared of people with ambition in interviews, because it means that as they help your business grow, you can help them grow as a person within your business as well. But obviously red flags and things like that are things like, oh, yeah, I want to do something massively different. You know, this is, you know, but everyone's circumstances change, obviously. Little things, yeah, like being late, you know, that type of thing as well. I think money's a big thing. If people start asking, you know, too early about money, when can I get paid? Can I do this earlier? You know, I think that's a little bit for a conversation a little bit later on as well. So that's definitely something to consider. Someone who's self-motivated and someone who can figure things out a little bit. So I do like a little bit of a test in the interview as well. But obviously, yeah, so just little things like, you know, I might pose or I used to pose like a question or something in there to show that people have really understood. You could even do a sourcing test if you wanted to, but it might be a bit harsh earlier on. But, you know, but like I said, don't, guys, if you do go through the interview process yourself, you know, if you get a little niggle, listen to it, because you're generally right for a reason, I think, especially when you're hiring in these type of circumstances. And if someone turns up 5 minutes late for a Skype interview with me, they ain't getting the job. It's as simple as that. I'm pretty strict on that type of thing. But Cindy's asked, which is a you know, a really valid point, which is probably going to be going through a lot of people's heads at the moment, is what is the pay like compared to VAs from Serbia versus the Philippines?
So me living there, I know very well what the pay is like. What the decent wages, what my neighbor had opposite, who worked for an Apple store, he had about 400 euros a month, and that is considered to be a decent wage for the circumstances there.
Yeah.
So VA.
Yeah, this is what I was really surprised to hear about, because, you know, Filipino VAs or you know, VAs in the Far East were, you know, oh, cheap labor, you know, this type of thing. You can pay someone $1 an hour, which isn't true. Don't do that, obviously. And again, something else, when you're hiring someone, I'm not a fan of lowballing either. I think pay a fair wage. If you get someone that you're paying a fair wage to, if you're trying to undercut, if you're trying to screw them down on their pay, then I think for sure it's going to bite you in the bum in the end. But comparatively wise, I would say that Serbia is probably a tad more expensive because of conversion and things like that. But it's not much, is it? We're not talking a huge difference.
No, and not at all, I don't think. When I was comparing for instance, let me just put some light on.
Oh, there we go. We can see.
All right. I can see. You can see me now, because the I think evenings are coming a bit early.
I know they are. It's a lovely evening tonight. Absolutely.
Oh yeah. So what I was comparing the Philippines that I never lived in, but my uncle lives in Philippines, so he knows the situation over there. The average, sort of towards the minimum was about 500 to 600, I believe, dollars or euros. I honestly can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
So me starting to pay my Philippines $300 a month, I think I sort of called for trouble anyway. And he said, people somewhere in remote villages maybe would accept that because they don't have a choice, but they will have poor internet. And my Philippines actually, VAs did have a poor internet, and they were telling me day after day sometimes we couldn't because of the weather, because of the internet. But I didn't understand that at the time. I thought that was fine. And for some people, it really is fine, and you're saving their life by just employing them. So just do what you need to do according to your own situation. But these VAs, they're very happy with getting 400 euros, especially when they're starting with something new. Now, if they prove to you that they are really great after I don't know how many months, usually I evaluate them every 3 months.
Right.
I do then say, okay, you have potential. You are absolutely great asset to my business. I'm promoting you because I'm growing and I can. So my current VA, I think she's doubled plus, a couple of teaspoons on top her wage since. But she's amazing, absolutely amazing, reliable, loyal, full of ideas, critical thinker, well organized. I mean, when I know that I have her backing me up, I mean, that's such a relief, especially with a task that I'm not good at. She takes over. I love it.
And that's the important thing, guys, when hiring a VA as well. We've talked specifically so far this evening about sourcing, but what Anna said, believe me, is a massive golden nugget at the start. When she sat down and she wrote every single task down that this business demands people do, it's not just sourcing and prepping, which are the main things that we talk about. Yes, they're the biggest time suckers, and they are the two, more important, I would argue, most important parts of without sourcing and without prepping, you don't have a business. It's as simple as that. But there are so many other areas as well. So we're not specifically talking about sourcing. I know administration VAs. And again, depending on which type of person you are, it might not be the sourcing route that you want to go down to outsource, because if you are someone that's good at it and enjoys doing it, for me and my business, if I started, traditional OA again from, tomorrow, sourcing would be the last thing that I personally outsourced, because it's the area that I feel I probably know the most in, and it's the area that I enjoy. Anyone that watches me on Elite Sellers doing our live sourcing and things like that will know that I love doing it. Yeah. So for me, that was, always something that would be the last. But if you're like Anna, if you're like other people that not only, but there are some people that are good at it but still don't enjoy it. There are some people that don't enjoy it, regardless. They think it takes up too much time or whatever. So you really do need to write that list down, and then you need to put a number next to it for how much you enjoy it, how much time it takes, really go through all of the different tasks, because it's not just sourcing and prepping. There's administration, there's reconciliations, there's shipment reconciliations, I think I'm going to write a list one day and stick it in Secret Wealth Project. I think we can do that, actually. We'll write a list of every single task that is involved in this business. But obviously, we wanted to talk that it's not necessarily just sourcing VAs. That, these guys from Serbia are very adaptable and can obviously be taught anything that is required as part of your business.
Yes.
So just wanted to obviously clarify that. So when you started working with your new VAs and you started realizing that this was working, one key point that I wanted to bring up, which you mentioned earlier, was the communication, working with them, because I think that is something people really underestimate when you take on a VA. I think there's a lot of things people underestimate when they take on VAs, and we'll run through a few of those. Firstly is finance. You have to be at a point in your business where you can afford a VA in your business. And it's not just, okay, 400 euros per month. Oh, and by the way, that is for a full-time VA. So if you want to hire a part-time VA, then, same rules apply as in the Philippines. Essentially, you can hire people for 1 day, you can hire people for 3 days, you can hire full-time, whatever. So that's the first thing to consider, because not only are you paying out for that wage, you've still got to buy deals on top, and those deals have still got to sell, and you've got to wait for your money to come back from Amazon. So there is a cash flow element that people need to take into account. If you're very early on in your business, if you have a low budget to start with, then probably this isn't going to be the right route for you to go down at the start, because you need to be spending your money on deals to get sales on Amazon to make profit, to grow your business more. But it's not only a financial element to it as well. It's at the start a very costly time commitment. And I think that's something else that people don't underestimate. You get through the interview, you put your job up, you make the offer, you hire someone, but then you've got to train them. You've got to spend that time with them. And then on top of that, there has to be a really great level of communication. So tell us a little bit more about how you communicate with them. You said that you review salaries every 3 months. If you could expand a bit on that to give people, I think, a realistic expectation of hiring your own VA, and what happens there.
Yeah, but there are a few elements to communication. So I have experience of having a VA who did not really speak fluent English, but he was delivering great deals.
Yeah.
But then when I was trying to train this VA on giving him a feedback on why do I like this deal, why do I not like the other deal, and try to train him, I could tell that he doesn't quite understand what is it that I'm trying to tell him. So I would say, look at this graph. This is happening in this certain time. Last year, this time, this is happening because, and I was explaining in English, obviously. And it's a difficulty in training them if they're not fluent in English. So, then there's a problem. But with me, other previous VAs, I thought that they understood what I was trying to tell them, because they were saying, yes, all clear, all great. And then nothing happens. I'm like, wait, let me explain this again. And then I realized they do speak English, but not fluently again. And I thought, you know what, it's really, really important that VA speaks fluent English for me, because I have to be able to tell them what kind of products are important and why, and what to look for, when, where, and to discuss products. Eventually in time, VA should be able to grow in experience and knowledge, so you can sort of brainstorm products with them as well. And that's what I'm looking for. Somebody with critical thinking skills, somebody who's gone through education and maybe work, where they would use noggin to understand what's going on there. And these couple of these certain VAs really surprised me with some, ideas like, you can do this with this product. How about this bundle? I'm like, wow, this is interesting. I'm like, yeah. And I saw this in your video, and then I got this idea, and I thought, this is what I'm looking for, a teammate, rather than just like VA that I contact once a month, a teammate where I feel supported. And that's what I'm looking for. And that's where the communication comes into play. Good broadband, high, good or excellent English written and speaking skills. Very important to me, as you can tell.
Absolutely. And that level of communication has worked so well for you, obviously establishing your new team of VAs that is helping you grow your business. In terms of regularity of communication, like you said, beforehand you would speak to them and they would say yes, and that was it, and you kind of moved on. But with these kind of guys, it was a lesson that you learned as well, that regardless of how well trained they are, regardless of how many great deals they're delivering, regularity of communication was hugely important. And then by having just that hour's difference, that helped compound you being able to increase your communication. So how often do you speak to your VAs? Every day? I take it you are regularly communicating? Do you have, just to give people the expectation, you speak to them every day, do you, have a team meet up once a week? I mean, again, obviously, when you first hire, it's quite intense, the level of communication that's needed to start with. But obviously, as they get a bit more experience, then you can back off a little bit. Talk to us a little bit about that. Is there a certain period of time when you are now training a new VA, say for somebody else? Is there a time that you say, right, we stay in contact once a week, once every day for the first 4 weeks, and then we back off a little bit more? Yeah, just walk us through that a little bit.
Yes, there's a difference between communication schedule when you're training a VA and when you already hired a VA. So if you're thinking of, or you already have your VA, what I find works really well for this type of VAs is to keep regular contact, but not too often.
Okay.
So let the person grow in their own shoes. So after they've been trained, then I would keep contact with a normal VA once a week. I would go quickly, about 15 minutes, to review the deals and to give comments. Now my VA Tina does that now for me, which is amazing. But with Tina, who is my manager VA now, I contact her almost regularly when we have things to do. So WhatsApp, this and that, Skype, we are everywhere, like contacting, regulating things, email. So it's different relationship with your managerial type of VA who oversees the team. However, with the team, regular contact once a week is the best. So it's not too often. You're letting the person grow into the task, find their own footing. But for that to happen, they need proper training. So when I'm training them, it's different. So the first is obviously first contact on the platform, then is an interview. Then we meet up at the first opportunity within days for half an hour introduction to the course and everything else that needs to be covered within the course. And then I'll let them go through the course for about 2 days. On the third day, we get in touch again. How is it going? On the fourth day, they already sign up to all the training tools, Keeper, Bible Pro, PPP, everything that they need. And they start delivering deals onto the deal sheet that we explain to them how to use. And then we say, okay, we are meeting up Wednesdays, Fridays with one training team, and Monday and Thursday on the other. And so it's twice a week. We're meeting up with the trainees, and they love it. I
was going to say that, because sometimes, again, and I feel like I'm saying this a lot tonight, but sometimes when they hire a VA, it's a bit like, okay, right, I've pulled the Band-Aid off. I've done it now. I don't want to talk to him ever again. But I don't want to talk to him now. I just want the deals. I just want the deals. But that level of communication is so important. It's about creating a secure, safe environment for your VAs, knowing how much they're appreciated. I know that you are a positive reinforcement person. And, if anyone's going to deliver constructive criticism, I know, Anna, you are going to deliver it perfectly. Because like I said, even if it's the worst deal in the world, Anna will find a way to tell them that it's still good, in some way. Or sorry, not that it's still good, but that they've done a great job in doing it. And that's super important, especially when you're working with like remote members of staff. Essentially, it's very different relationship to anybody that's watching that has hired people in person, that are working in person. I know that my personality almost and the way that I communicate with people is massively different online as it is in person, because in person it's just, they can read your body language. They can listen to your tone a lot more. They can see your eyes smiling, all these different types of things. So it is a different level of communication, and some people find that awkward to start with, definitely. But, it's a bit like, you've just got to do it. You absolutely have got to do it. If you want the best out of your people, then you absolutely have to invest that time in them. And I think ultimately, that is something that there's been a massive surge of people wanting VAs in their business, especially since COVID. That's, I think, when I saw it the most, when people were like, I want a VA, I want a VA, because there was so much opportunity and people really wanted to take advantage of that opportunity. And a VA is obviously the dream. It's like, yeah, get someone else to do that for me.
Yeah.
So I see why the rise of popularity. But I think what doesn't get talked about is everything that we're talking about right now, the reality of it, and the steps that you need to take within your business to ensure that it is right for you. Because what is right for one person isn't right for another. What is right for one person's business isn't right for another person's business. We're talking specifically tonight, for anyone that's just joined us, about VAs. Obviously, we know that there are lots of other different types of services or kind of jobs and things that people can do within their own business. So this is obviously a spotlight on VAs. Now, obviously, when you made this kind of realization, you went through it successful. People in the Amazon community started talking about, people you were communicating with, and people started sort of saying, hey, Anna, if this is working out so well, can you train a VA for me? And, this started to happen for you. And essentially then, this is why we wanted, obviously, to introduce Anna tonight as well, because people started saying to her, well, I know you're doing things a little bit differently, Anna. How can I potentially go down this route? Because, like I said, what works for some people doesn't work for other people. And, how could I potentially go down this route of having you train a, non-Filipino VA for me? So you've discovered in yourself, through a really bad experience to start with, now you've kind of gone through, worked out all the kinks, worked what worked for you, and then people now all of a sudden are starting to ask you, hey, can I get in on this as well? Is this something that I can do? So tell us a little bit more about that. And before we do, Anna is going to introduce an opportunity this evening. Now, you guys know, Never Mind the Buy Box, we're not about, selling stuff or anything like that whatsoever. But I think you'll all agree this evening, Anna has, she talked amazingly about VAs and given everyone a really good opportunity and support. And by the way, you're more than happy to answer questions in the group and everything like that as well. Told you obviously where she gets her VAs from, the process that she goes through to hire them. And there will be some people that will just go off and do that and take this information, guys, absolute 100%. And wish you, and Anna will answer your questions in the Facebook group on Secret Wealth Project and everything like that. Go ahead and take that information. But we do know that there are some people out there that don't want to go through that process, and they would prefer someone else to do that process. And we didn't want to do this evening is we didn't want to do like a webinar and everything like that, because, like I said, Never Mind the Buy Box is not about that. I wanted to introduce Anna to you to know that after what has been a challenging period of time she's gone through, and she's actually discovered a little bit of a gap, definitely within the market. And if you are potentially thinking about getting a VA, you don't want to do it yourself, you don't want to train them yourself, but you want to work with someone who is passionate about delivering the type of things that Anna's spoken about tonight, that you've got a website link that I'm going to pop in the comments, that you're more than happy for people to contact you and make contact with you, because you're going to be offering a very new and a very personalized service. And again, it's why we wanted to do it on Never Mind the Buy Box, because this isn't like a Amazon VA selling machine where Anna's going to pump them out. Anna's going to, it's going to be like, yeah, I'm going to take 50 orders for this. This is why we wanted to do it very low key, give you everything you needed to do to get started yourself. But like I said, if you're someone that just sort of thinks, actually, I'm there at this point in my business, but I don't want to do that training, I don't want to do the interview, and I don't want to go from that point, then you guys can get in touch with Anna on that process. And we're going to pop the website in the link. Anything else you want to add there? What is the website again? Sorry, I haven't said it yet.
Yeah, it's very simple. It's sourcingva.com.
Mm-hmm. You can't get simpler than that. Obviously, any questions about that, please do let us know. But it's sourcingva.com. I will put the link in there. And like I said, this is a genuine recommendation from the Secret Wealth Project. Knowing Anna for years, knowing how personally Anna takes, and I think you'll all agree. We're not finished yet, by the way. We're going to go and do some questions and talk about some more different things relating to VAs as well. But I think if you agree that Anna is 100% genuine person, wants to help people with their businesses, and you're very much a pay it forward person, aren't you?
Yeah, I love that. I love when people are happy, when they're prosperous, abundant, when they're happy with what they're doing, they bring income into their life from the tasks that they love, enjoy doing. Oh, I mean, we're creating the better world, I think. I know this is all like, ooh, but this is what I truly feel and believe in. And I do want to help create that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm still trying to find this link. Where are we going through? Now, Cindy's just asked, because I know Cindy mentioned this earlier as well, is that we were talking specifically about sourcing VAs, but is there an opportunity for people that are not necessarily looking for a sourcing VA? Is there administration VAs as well?
Right now, myself, I am focusing on sourcing VAs. However, I have trained already administration VAs in the past, and they love doing it, and they've been brilliant. They scored a 10 out of 10 marks on my personal exam that I created. If somebody is desperate, please contact me here on Facebook as well, or whatever you want to. And I will contact these 2 VAs. They were absolutely brilliant, and I love them. And see if they're available. And the course stays with them that I created specifically for Amazon admins. So we can talk. Yes, why not? We'll see if I still have them available. However, I am focusing on manual sourcing VAs right now.
Yeah. Okay. So is it sourcingvas with an s.com? Because the link didn't.
Yeah, it's sourcingva.com.
No S.
Without S, yeah, it's just sourcing.
Do you know, I always I'm the worst person in the world for supplying links and things like that, because I always get it wrong. So sourcingva.com, just to clarify that. I think I've put it. Oh, look at Cindy. She's already found it. She's already and she's put the proper link in. Ignore my link, guys. Oh, look, I feel like a total fool now. Everybody's put the link. Do you know what? If Matt Webley is watching this, he knows I literally should not be in charge of any type of link. Well, I muck it up every single time. Literally can't get it. So thank you for popping that in. And I'll also put it on the there we go. Here we go. So let's put it up here.
Cindy.
There we go. It's Cindy that's put it up there.
Oh, cool.
I'm just going to put it in here as well, just so everyone's got it. So, guys, is there any other questions that you've got for Anna? Is anybody thinking about hiring a VA at the moment for Q4? Is this something that you guys, obviously we've talked about Upwork, we talked about placing an advert on there. What I found really interesting, you didn't mention Amazon, which I thought was a genius stroke, to be perfectly honest, because you wanted someone that you could mold yourself and somebody that you could really influence, essentially, to what you felt was a really good way to source. You don't mention it, you look at it more of a product research type role.
Yeah.
How do you title the job?
I think it was e-commerce. No, I don't have it in front of me. I think it was e-commerce, online research, something like that. I can look.
So not like Amazon sourcing assistant.
Not at all. I was avoiding all these terms. I just posted what's actually required within a job. So it's online. It's to do with retail and e-commerce, and it's a lot of research. So anybody who likes all these threes and has the skills would actually apply for that. Yeah. So that was the title. I'll look into it. If somebody really wants a title, I can find it and just give it to them. No problem.
That's very kind of you.
Cool.
Reach out to Anna, guys, as well. I guarantee you will not find a friendlier or more approachable person in the Amazon space who is happy to just help. You know, at the end of the day, mind you, I say that, then you'll become like me and get blooming carpal tunnel from messaging people much all the time. But yeah, no, I know that you're just more than happy to help, Anna, 100%.
I'm so glad. I mean, I have this tennis elbow thing. I had it, and we were talking about that, and I found a PDF, and I sorted it out. It was this pain here as well. It was like a burning. I don't know what you've got. You said
it's like a burning.
It's burning, and it was here and there, and it started waking me up at night.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, this is it. So I went to GP, and she gave me this PDF with exercises. Within 2 to 3 days, it was gone, and I thought, hallelujah.
Well, what's really interesting, I know we're talking about VAs tonight, but what I found absolutely fascinating was I put a post yesterday in Secret Wealth Project, and I think it's like my most engaged post ever or something like that, saying about the fact that I think I've developed some sort of carpal tunnel or RSI. I've not been to a doctor yet, so I don't know 100% what it is, you know, through continual typing, texting, all these different types of things. And it was amazing the amount of people that had exactly the same. So I think now, as a disclaimer, what I've actually got to put in the new free course that's going on to YouTube is you'll love this business, you'll get addicted to it, but beware, you're going to get carpal tunnel or strain injury.
Tennis elbow thing.
Yeah, tennis elbow or something like that. I know Cindy said that she had, I think Cindy.
Oh, really?
She had tennis elbow as well. Like so many people. And people were talking about virtual, I think it was Al was talking about virtual, not virtual, vertical mouse pads. And it is literally, the conversation was just crazy. It was just really, really, it was interesting to see what, you know, everyone's the same. Yeah, Cindy said she got tennis elbow. But anyway, back onto the VAs after that digression. Simona said, definitely interested. So what's the process? How long does it take you to provide a VA?
As we are a new service, we do have an idea of the time scale. So if you were to contact me, let's say tomorrow and say, I'm definitely interested, I would love you to, you know, find and train and introduce me to a trained VA. From the experience that I have until date, it takes me probably a few days to find a VA, interested VA, and fully vetted. And then the training starts immediately. It takes about 3 days, as I said before, and on the 4th day, believe it or not, the VA is ready to start showing some results. So I think within a week, you would have a fully trained VA, definitely. But we do keep up with that VA and provide the support, and we overlook the deals and we comment on the deals. We help them, you know, advance the deals and gain more experience, because we are training new people.
Yeah.
And they don't have experience. They gain the skills quite fast, within days. But then they need time to develop a little bit, and we do, you know, provide the support service.
Yeah, and then you're going to, you know, lead people through that. There's going to be an onboarding process. You'll talk to people. You'll communicate with people. It's going to be very personalized. And, you know, there's a lot of people I can see that are already interested in this. And guys, this isn't, like I said, this isn't going to be a churning out machine for Anna. This is going to be a very personalized service. And this is sounding like a sales pitch, and it's really not meant to be like this, because we wanted to introduce everyone to Anna within the Secret Wealth Project and give people a different, you know, option to some of the options that are already out there. But we want to make this clear that this is very personalized. It's something that's going to be, I'm sure that once people hear more about the service, timeframes might get a little bit longer, but obviously you're going to communicate with people like that. This is a brand new service, guys. So we want to make that, Anna wants to make that absolutely clear. And I think you'll get that vibe off of Anna. As I said, this isn't going to be, it's not a cookie cutter VA business. This is Anna's going to find out what you need, what you want, everything like that. So I really do If it feels like I'm keep saying that tonight, it's because I want that to hit home with everybody, that this isn't, you know, off you go and you'll never speak to Anna again or whatever.
No, I'm there because I want to be there with a person who wants to be I like them, they like me, they like what I'm, you know, about. I like what they're about. I want to communicate, I want to collaborate. It'll be great, you know, really. That's what I want. Fun and joy and success.
Absolutely. And I know that with you, Anna, 100%, because you are someone that just thrives off of this, you know, thrives off of meeting new people. When I met Anna in person for the first time, and I was like, can I get a hug? And I was like, oh, yeah, it was pre-COVID, guys. It was pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID.
Yeah, it was like, can I get a hug? And she's like, I feel like I know you. And I was just sort of like, well, I feel the same. And it's, you know, it's a different world now, obviously. You are 100% like that for sure. So time frame, like I said, I could tell there that you didn't want to put a specific on it. Simona, I hope you understand. Hope everyone else does understand, because this is something that you're going to do it until, you know, you're going to train them until the job is done. But we're not talking a month or anything like that. We're talking 2 weeks.
They're basically, from the experience, I do have a couple of people standing by just in case for tonight. And from the experience, brand new person that I train is ready to start delivering deal on the 4th day. I do find them within a week, and then within 3 to 4 days, they're already starting delivering deals, and they can, according to what we want, start showing these deals to the person who's going to, you know, hire them, get them fully trained. We'll see, you know, how things go. Really, who, what's what, and where. Is it highly personalized service, as I said?
Yeah, absolutely. So let me pick up on a question that was asked by Marcus. I'm going to come back to your question in a moment, but I thought that this was Paul's question, who he asked, which I think linked into what we just said, which was, is there any way of sharing a VA with your service to keep the cost down? Now, personally, I can't speak on Anna's behalf, but I think that if people presumably wanted to get together, pull a VA, and do that within themselves, that's something you don't have any issue with whatsoever. But also, if you reach out to Anna, then there might be a few of you that potentially don't want to have a full-time VA yourself. And maybe, Anna, I could be overstepping the mark here, I don't know, please tell me if I am, that maybe if you get a couple of people that you could potentially, you know, join up or something like that, if you could do that. Not sure. You know, someone that's maybe not, because I think the thing about the cookie cutter services is, you know, you get a VA and there's potentially, well, there is an option to pool. Like I said, people can do it within themselves. There's no doubt about it. But it might be a bit like blind date, and Anna can be Cilla Black. And, you know, if you want to reach out to her.
I love Cilla Black.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can maybe reach out to her and you can say, look, I don't want to commit to a full-time VA. Then Anna might have someone else that says that, and maybe there can be some sort of share there. Because I know you want to help people, obviously.
Yeah, I do. If I hear something that I can help out, definitely. And I know people who are getting together doing exactly this. But they were doing it, you know, outside of the service of any kind, and would just get together and then share their VAs amongst themselves, so share deal sheets with themselves, which is quite great as well.
Yeah, great. By the way, that's something I really encourage. I think if there's 2 or 3 of you that want to connect, you know, or people that you know relatively well within the Amazon space, that you feel confident that you could go ahead and engage Anna, you know, yeah, it's not frowned upon or anything like that. I think it's really smart, especially when you're starting out as well, because you can, things always work out better when you've got support, when you've got the speed, which you'll have with Anna anyway as well. But if you can go through the process and carry the financial burden, make it sound like, you know, the financial cost, and also that learning curve with someone else, I think that's great for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, no problems with that whatsoever. Just Paul, reach out to Anna. No issues whatsoever there. Marcus has asked, this is a great question actually. When you've got multiple VAs sourcing, how do you split the work? So how do you determine, does one person source on boots today and then another person sources at, you know, I don't know, Yankee Candle or something like that? How do you do that?
So how I did it as an Amazon reseller is that it was easier for me to split tasks and categories to each VA. So one VA was sourcing only grocery, and the other VA was sourcing only health and beauty, and the other VA only toys and all of that. And then when the Q4 started, I would be like, okay, I want to move a couple of more VAs to just source whatever was interesting to me at the Q4, for instance. So each season would require different kind of strategies. So you have to think about that too. So you're not going to be sourcing, I don't know, maybe something boring like nobody ever buys on, during the Q4. Like everybody wants to buy things for Christmas presents, and that you have to think that way too. So maybe your VAs are sourcing the groceries or this and that, then you just move them into more interesting category. Like, I don't know, toys, for instance, for Q4. So you move 3 VAs to do toys only for the categories. But yes, I like to split them that way because it's easier for me and they get more experience, where to look, when to look, they have to subscribe. And there's all of these different strategies that you know about. So they get updates, coupons, all of that. So they have to keep their mind and they keep their eyes on that as well. So it's easier for them and for us. So I like to do that. Some people like their VAs to source Monday through to Wednesday and then do admin on the other days as well. So that's going to be up to you, and see if your VA can actually do that as well. I tried that. It worked pretty well as well. But not every VA is cut out for diversity. So you have to keep that in mind as well. It's all,
Amazing.
You test and try and,
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you just hit the nail on the head. You work with people, you work with a person, not people. So you will understand that person in particular, the person that wants the service, the person that's going to deliver the service, i.e. yourself, and then also, the person that is going to be hired. And, like I said, I'm going to call you Cilla Black. It's a matchmaking service, I think more than anything else. And absolutely, it's very personalized. And I find that really interesting, the fact that you said not every VA is cut out for diversity at the end of the day. And that's something that you'll discover during that process, possibly something you might not discover immediately. Actually, that's really interesting. Let's talk very quickly before we move on to anything else about, because, we've had obviously your challenging experience with VAs. Now, sometimes take away sourcingva.com, take away that service. If someone's going to do something themselves, they hire someone and they get the ick, they get the feeling it's not working out, which again, some people try this, some people you might have to kiss a few frogs before you find your prince if you're going to do it on your own. Then how do people deal with that? Because if they're like me, I've hired and fired hundreds of people in my lifetime. That's not an exaggeration. I used to work in recruitment. I've had my own business for 15 years, worked with people, digitally. I've worked, remotely, in person, all these different types of things. But I'm a confident person. I have no issues with confrontation or anything like that. But when it comes to letting somebody go, it's like sleepless nights, heart palpitations, like, oh my God, what am I doing? I feel responsible for this person that I've hired, things like that. How do you deal with that? Because like I said, if I personally think, if anybody says, oh, it just gets easier to do it, I think you're either a really cold-hearted person or you're a liar. Because for me personally, like I said, I've hired and fired, hundreds of people, and it doesn't get easier. So, what's the best way to deal with that?
So the best way I deal with it, and I had few, as you said, frogs over the years, is first of all, you get much better in spotting these people.
Mm-hmm.
You sort of understand, this is the kind of behavior that I've seen in the past and it just didn't work out. But I still get this feeling I really want to give it my best shot, see if I'm misunderstanding them somewhere.
Yeah.
And I tell them, look, this is happening, that's happening. Is there anything that you're not understanding? Did I say something wrong that you did not understand? I go through all of these checklists. I must understand their point of view. And so I have clear conscience. It's important to me. And if they still don't get it, I'll say, okay, after sleepless nights and all of that, you have to go through this if you're a human being that has conscience and understand consequences of letting somebody go. They'll say, okay, I'm giving you 1 month notice. Your work just does not contribute to what I need. And these are your opportunities now for where to look. So I actually help them. You can look here for a job. Your skills are great for this kind of role, and I found something here. So I do spend some research, maybe 25 minutes. I'm fast now. Where can they go? Where can they find a job? What they're good with? And I give them a little bit of hope and encouragement. Mm-hmm. And 1 month notice for me, it's great. They can still keep on working for me on some tasks, but I prefer not to allow anybody to work for me after I give them notice.
Yeah. Okay. So it's like a gardening leave. You can say, you say, take a month's, pay with my good wishes. And then obviously you give them that. I know, isn't she, Cindy? Cindy was just saying what a lovely lady you are. And, people might say a month's too long, people, for a week. So I think what Anna's just saying there is, you do what you feel morally obliged to do. I think, that would be absolutely, right thing to say. But I think the important thing is you can't put off the inevitable. You can't be guilted, and not saying VAs guilt you or anything like that. It comes from within you. I think it comes from, you get this personal feeling of, liability, for feeling that you're responsible for that type of person, but no one's going to fire them for you, unfortunately. So it is something you have to do. And if you can do it in the way that Anna is sort of, suggested, it's not a case of, just stopping paying them and moving on. Give them a good feeling, give them the courtesy of saying why it's not worked out, what their skills were for not, what they were really good at. And then obviously a gesture of goodwill as well. I think that's I think that's absolutely phenomenal to do that. But yeah, I completely agree, Cindy. I told you guys at the start. I told you Anna was a lovely lady, and she really, really is for sure.
Thank you, guys.
So I think we've got a few people that are maybe interested in setting up a pool. Maybe looking at sharing. Karen said it. Kay said it. Bob says in order to test the water. Looking to share as well. Looking to share. Let's just have a quick look. Simona says, got to go now. Thanks for all the info. An interesting idea. As a Slavic myself, it's different mentality and it might suit me better. I tried the Filipino VAs and had an unpopular opinion that they're overrated. Well, thanks, thanks for letting us know. But this is what I love about Anna, didn't give up, didn't think that there's no other way. You found a different way, one that works for you, feel it's a gap in the market, something that people, and like I said, I think you all 100% agree. At least I do feel that we've sort of given everyone enough tonight to at least get started. Started in the process of, finding your own VA. So I don't want anyone to feel pressured or anything like that. That's not what Nevermind the Buy Box is about. But it's just about showing you how things differently. And you know what? Again, what the world of Amazon delivers for you, because you started out watching Matt's free course, set up a successful Amazon business. Now you're developing a different income stream, which you would not have considered ever doing before selling on Amazon yourself.
No, it's beautiful, isn't it? You never know. what life is going to bring you. And all the hardest lessons sometimes are the opportunity for blessing.
Absolutely. Hands up, who could listen to Anna talk all evening? I really could, Anna, genuinely. You are just an absolute ray of light. And I think it's very, very easy in this world and in this business to get sucked into the negative of, restock limits and some of the stuff that we have to talk about, to keep everybody informed on, never mind the buy box. But it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you tonight and, introducing you to the hardcore Secret Wealth Project community. I know you guys, I felt that this was a really, really good opportunity for you to consider a different option, and if you're going to try it out, and it looks like the VA pool is looking like a really, really popular option. So Cindy's kindly put up the link there, and I know someone else did as well, so thank you for that. What's the best way to contact you? Is it send you a friend request on Facebook, drop you a messenger, email address? If you've got an email address, just let everyone know what is the best way to get in contact. I will also, after this, tag Anna in a post so you can connect with her there as well. If you want.
So you're welcome to contact me directly on Facebook. Sourcing VA, Secret Wealth Project. I'm there. Just find me, connect with me, send me a message, or simply go to the sourcingva.com website. You can book a call with the exact time and day that you want to speak to me about.
Can you? Do you know what? I didn't even know that.
Yeah. So,
I did know that, actually. Now I've realised that. So you can actually book to have a chat with Anna as well.
Yes, you can. If you really want to chat to me, you can, just directly, choose your time and date to chat to me. And if you want to send a message, you can send a message also on the same website or on Facebook, whatever is easier. I'm on both platforms.
Really appreciate it. What are you looking forward to this Q4, Anna? What do you think this Q4 is going to bring for you and your business?
I'm actually very excited about this Q4. I think being on Amazon as an Amazon reseller actually has given the opportunity to supply products that are really needed to people who could not get them otherwise when all the stores shut. So I'm really, really happy that I was one of the people to contribute. And now with the service that I'm offering and the help that I'm offering, I think we can really make a difference in giving hope and income to people that really need it in these hard times. So I think I'm expecting really, really fantastic Q4. I think we're in a really good place as Amazon sellers, so I can't wait for it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, do you know what? It's been a monster one tonight. Obviously, we've talked about loads. We've talked about VAs. We've dropped the mic on, introducing a different way of doing things. Obviously, the main objective was to introduce you all to Anna, show her what a genuinely kind person she is, and how she wants to really genuinely help people in the community, get people sorted. And I think it's fair to say, and I know that sometimes people say this as a sales pitch, but I know for 100% it's true. You just genuinely, I remember you said, I just didn't want people to experience how I felt, that level of kind of betrayal, really.
No, that's true. That was painful for me. I did speak to people who were in the same boat at that time. And I said, well, it's not that bad. I did speak to my VA. Everything's going to be fine. I could not get over it.
Yeah.
I did get over it.
Yeah.
I did learn a lesson, moved on, and created something even better out of that. So, but I do want to make sure that people are happy with what I have as an offer of the service. Yes, definitely.
Absolutely. Brilliant. Yeah. Well, Anna, thank you so much for your time tonight. It's been so illuminating, and I think really, really delivered some fantastic information that I hope will give you guys value to be able to go on if this is something that you are thinking about and a route that you're going down, just to give you a glimpse into an alternative view. If you do want to get in contact with Anna, www.sourcingva.com. I am going to put a post in the Secret Wealth Project and tag Anna in it for you. So please feel free to contact her at will. I think maybe get ready for your inbox to explode, Anna. But I know that you will obviously gladly help. And if you want, you can book a call with Anna. It's set up on the website to be able to do that, just to chat through things. I think it's fair to say no obligation, just to find out a little bit more, how you can help people about the service or whatever, so don't feel it's, there's any obligation. I know Anna genuinely is happy to help if that is the route that you go down. Thank you for a great live tonight. Completely agree. Couldn't highlight that more. Next week, guys, we are back at 7 o'clock. Again, every Tuesday. I said that was like a surprise, and we hadn't been doing this for 2 years. And if you guys don't know that we're 7 o'clock every Tuesday in Secret Wealth Project and streaming live on the Nevermind the Buy Box YouTube channel, then I don't know what's been going on. But next week, it's going to be a big one. It's the Q4 prep night. So we are going to, I think I even called it the Monster Q4 prep night. We're going to be going into massive detail about Q4. It's going to be a who, what, when, where, why, about preparation, pricing, restock limits, when to buy, when to sell, how to prep, should you use pallets, should you do this, should you do that. We're going to go into as much as we can possibly squeeze in to a Tuesday night as possible next week. So I really do hope you will join me and whoever's going to be here with me next week, and we're going to dive deep into Q4. Anna, it's been an absolute pleasure. Once again, thank you so much for your time. We really do appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nathan. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good night, everyone. Take care.